Good morning, everybody. Hi, it's Chris here of Light and Joy Designs. And there's nobody in here yet, so if you're watching this on the replay, we'll get started here in just a couple of moments. If you're watching it on the replay, you can always just kind of fast forward to where I get started. Hi, Susan. Hi, Julie. Welcome. So today I'm doing a crochet podcast. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join before I actually get everything completely started. I'm simultaneously doing this on both Instagram and YouTube so that wherever you like to hang out, you can say hi in the comments. Hi, Linda. Hi, Catherine. Oh, nice. Thanks for joining me this morning. So, let's see, we're a minute and a half in. I guess let me go over the topics I'm going to be covering this week. And actually, before I do that, if anybody wanted to say hi where they're joining from, that might be kind of fun. It looks like Catherine is saying hi from Florida. And it's always fun to see where people are hailing from, where they're watching from. Maybe also put in the comments maybe what crochet projects you're working on right now. Oh, wow, Julie's from Liverpool, England. How neat. The home of the Beatles. My probably all-time favorite music. Hi, Linda from Portland. That's cool. I've never been there. It's supposed to be beautiful. I've been to Seattle. I think you guys have sort of a similar climate. I'd love to visit Portland someday. And hi, Anthony Wilson from Alabama. Neat. This is so fun. Well, I'm in Massachusetts. Julie's working on the Lost in Time shawl. Oh, that's a beautiful one. And a lot of people, it's a very popular shawl. A lot of people make that shawl. I've thought about making that, and I just have not been able to get around to it because I'm always working on other things. Linda's working on a cardigan, almost finished. I need one more scan. One more skein, and I ran out. I'm waiting for it to come back in. Oh, that's the same as me. I'm going to, later on in this podcast, I'm going to show you a couple of sweaters that I'm working on. And one of them I'm making in Wool Ease Thick and Quick. And my goodness, I've run out of yarn twice and had to halt production, and it was not like a common color, so I had to kind of look all over to where I could get it the fastest. So okay, so I'm going to get started and show you tell you the topics I'm going to cover today. So I'm going to cover with you this week's and next week's pattern. I'm going to show you a couple of sweaters that I'm working on. Both of them are in Tunisian knit. And I would love to know if people are interested in learning to make a Tunisian sweater, a men's sweater, and also this cardigan I'm going to show you. I'm interested if you to see if you would prefer a pattern, where everything's kind of spelled out for you, or if you would like a recipe pattern where I will tell you exactly, I'll have a worksheet with exactly the measurements you need to take. You wouldn't have to really you wouldn't have to really think or know how to do the construction. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll tell you all the measurements to take. And then this way, the sweater would fit you exactly. So, you know, there's size medium, you know, sometimes you're a medium on the bottom, but a large on the top, or vice versa. And with a recipe kind of a sweater, it could fit you more exactly. So let me know if you're interested in that in the comments. Linda, interested in Tunisian, very much so. Okay, good. Well, I've got something else coming up today that might interest you then. And Linda's working on a cardigan. And Catherine's working on a blanket for her granddaughter. Started as the wave, but I've been changing. Well, that's cool. I do that a lot too. I get bored easily, so that's why I have a lot of different things going on in my patterns, and I like for my patterns to have options, so that, you know, as you're going along, if you want to do something a little different, I try to kind of bake that in when I'm making tutorials and patterns. Okay, Anthony Wilson, definitely recipe. And Catherine says ditto. Cool. So the next thing I'll show you is a follow-up on a few weeks ago. Hi, Crochet for Days. Thank you very much. A few weeks ago, I came out with a video called Whip Your Whips. So whip your whips, WIPS, works in progress. And so I don't know if you're like me, but I always have like a ton of works in progress. And, you know, they get stuffed into bins. I'll work on that later and so on. And then every once in a while, I do a big cleanup of all my crochet. And I find these projects that I had been working on. And I'm like, oh, I love this, but I don't have time to work on it. And I don't want to put it back in the bin of like get to later. So sometimes what I'll do is I will take them and I will kind of repurpose them. I'll make a shortcut and finish it up quick. So that video, if you want to look it up on my YouTube channel, is called Whip Your Whips. And in that video, I show you some shortcuts of how to take things like maybe a scarf, which this is what I'm going to show you now. This is the follow-up. Maybe you have a scarf and you just lost interest, you don't have time, but you want to wear it, you like it. So that's what happened with this one. This one was going to be a nice long knitted scarf. You can see how it was going. It wasn't long enough, and I just wasn't into knitting it anymore. I mean, I still love knitting, I just don't have time to do it. So what I did was this. I took it and connected it on the side and made it into, let's see if I can go like this a little bit. Made it into a bandana cowl. And so if you're interested in how to do this, along with some other cool ways to take shawls like crescent shawls and make them into a cowl and other things, take a look at that video. Then I'm also going to tell you about a new giveaway I have here in January. It's only for a week, so if you want to join in, you'll need to get on that right away. And then I wanted to tell you about my Tunisian crochet course is on sale. I decided to extend the sale on it because January, hi Dr. Lena, January is the month that I learned Tunisian crochet a few years ago, and I learned it with an online course, and I would be doing it at night while I watched my favorite Netflix series. And so I wanted to give you guys that same opportunity. It's a great month of the year. You know, the days are short if you're here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a great time of the year to learn it. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And then the last thing I'm going to go over with you this week is I always have a segment in my crochet podcast, what I learned this week, something kind of about life, for living a better, happier life. And that's about stepping out of the game, and I'll explain that. So let's get right to it. This week's pattern is the Tunisian Shower Scrubby. And this is a neat little project where you will learn a few different things. You're going to learn Tunisian simple stitch. You're going to learn Tunisian reverse stitch. And most exciting of all, you're going to learn 3-color Tunisian crochet. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can see it more closely. How cool is that? How pretty is that? And so this is made with a nylon yarn, and it has a little bit of a rough surface to it. So, and it has one side is more smooth. I'll just kind of hold it this so you can see that. And the other side, because we use Tunisian reverse stitch, you can kind of see has these ridges here. And with the ridges, it's, you know, a little bit more scrubby. So, and nice little handle, goes in your shower. And because it's nylon yarn, it's not going, it is stretchy, but it's not going to stretch out like cotton does. And it's also going to dry out a lot faster than cotton. So this pattern will be coming out either tonight or tomorrow. The Tunisian Crochet Shower Scrubby. All right. Then the following week, I have something that I'm absolutely dying to show you. Thanks, Catherine. Yeah, the texture, thank you so much. Yeah, I can't really take credit. I mean, it's just, that's what 3-color Tunisian crochet is. It's so cool. All right, this next thing, I came up with this idea. I like to say I didn't really come up with this idea. I meditate each morning, and that's when a lot of these ideas just kind of flow right into my head. And this was one of the ideas. I was working with some crochet mesh concepts. And the day before, I came up with this idea. Like I said, I don't think this idea came from me. I think it may have come from the universe. And I came up with this idea, I'll just say to do some weaving with this crochet lattice, if you will. And it's reversible because I came up with 2 different ideas. So one is weaving. On this side, it's weaving. And then on this side, it's going to be surface crochet. So this is a cowl with this beautiful fuzzy fringe. And it's really, I love it. Again, like I said earlier, I love options. I love things that are colorful. And I love when, you know, you get 2 things for the price of 1. So this one you can wear 2 different ways, and you have completely 2 different looks. And I'm currently like working on a hat that can go along with it too. So I love it. And this fringe is just awesome. Okay, so that'll be out next week. And that's going to be called the Reversible Lattice Cowl. All right, so I already went over with you the Whip Your Whips. Take a look at that. Then the new January 2021 giveaway goes until this Thursday, this coming Thursday, and it's on Instagram. And there will be a link, if it's not already there, if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a link in the description below how to get to Instagram, to the exact post, so that you can join in on that giveaway. And if you're on Instagram, just go into my feed afterwards, after this, and look for the giveaway post, and you can enter it. There's all the rules are there. It's pretty easy to enter. And the prizes are my Tunisian crochet online course. It's called Tunisian from Basics to Beyond, and it is on the Teachable format. Teachable platform. And Teachable, I don't know if any of you ever taken a course on Teachable? It's a really great format because you can have the pattern is right in there, like the PDF shows up right in there, so you don't have to, be running around trying to find it. You've got the videos, you've got text explanation of things, and it holds your place. So, hi Natalie. The Teachable app, it holds your place. So, you stop on row 24 and you pick it up tomorrow night and you're like, where was I? You just go right into the app, and you can go on your phone, you can go on your computer, your tablet, and you'll pick right back up where you left off. So it's really great. So whereas if you're making a pattern on YouTube, it may or may not remember where you were at. So I think it's worth the money for being able to have that. Plus, it's kind of a little closed community. You can ask questions. I will respond to you right away with if you have questions on things. You can see the questions that other people have asked, and you can see pictures of what other people have made so far, and you can share your pictures, I hope, on there with what you've made. So that's the Tunisian crochet course, which is one of the prizes. And it is also on sale. So if you wanted to get started on that right away and you happen to be the winner, I will refund you the purchase price. So if you wanted to go in and check that out, the link will be in the description on YouTube. And if you're watching on Instagram, you can click on the link that's in my profile bio and just scroll until you see Tunisian crochet course, and that'll take you there. So you can check that out and maybe purchase it. The other thing with that course, I think I mentioned, it's on sale for the month of January for $10. And it's 100% money back guarantee. You've got nothing to lose. You can try it out. If you are like, I just can't stand this, I hate it, that's really okay. You can just text me or email me and say, I would like a refund. Boom, you'll get the refund, okay? You've got nothing to lose, and you just might love it. So the 3 patterns that you learn in that Tunisian crochet course are, the first one is this Spa Day washcloth. And with this washcloth, this is where you're going to learn the 5 basic Tunisian crochet stitches, which are Tunisian simple stitch, knit stitch, reverse stitch, purl stitch, and full stitch. So, and this can be a trivet. You can use it as a motif for making a blanket, or I had one student, she made it into a purse, which was really cool. So this is a nice little first project. The second project in there is this shawl, the Land of the Fairy shawl. And this shawl, I'm not sure if you can, how well you can see it, but it uses all the different stitches that you'll learn, the basic stitches that you'll learn here. And then we combine them to make different types of stitch patterns. And if you are on Instagram, in my stories, one of my students who's very prolific and does amazing work. Her name is Kathleen. I have highlighted her. She just made this shawl in this exact same colorway. And hello, guys. And she just made this shawl in the same colorway, and she took beautiful pictures of it, and you can really see the lace in her pictures and the different types of stitches. And when you do this shawl, because you're going to learn so many different types of stitches, you can take them then and make different stitch patterns, right? So combinations, stitch combos. You can take them and then, explore and make your own stuff. So by making one of these shawls, you get a lot of tools in your Tunisian crochet toolbox. And don't be afraid if you're brand new, because I literally hold your hand and walk you step by step by step. Like, that's one of the things that I try to do. So sometimes my videos are a little bit long. You can always fast forward if you're getting it more quickly. But I try to really make sure I explain things very detailed, because sometimes there's little tips and tricks that make these things easier. The third pattern that you will learn with that Tunisian crochet course is these Emerald Isle Tunisian knits. And they're made with a number 6 weight yarn, so they're really squishy and really warm. And I have links in the description below on YouTube for all of these patterns. And if you're watching on Instagram and you want to look up any of these patterns, because if you're interested in just one of the patterns and you're already Tunisian crochet, you can look them up on my Ravelry or on my website. Just go to the link in my bio, and then you can actually search for any of them. This is Land of the Fairies shawl. This is Emerald Isle knits. And this is called the Spa Day washcloth. So in the giveaway, you would win this Tunisian crochet course. And one other thing, you will win 3 Denise interchangeables Tunisian crochet hooks. So you can kind of make your own 3 set. And you can choose whatever sizes you want, from anywhere from 3.75 millimeters up to 15 millimeters. So whatever sizes you normally like to work with, you can choose those 3. So, and that giveaway on Instagram lasts until this coming Thursday, which is, and let's see, today is the 10th. So 11, 12, 13, till the 14th. So let's see, did anybody have any questions on any of that so far? I'm just looking through the comments here to see if anybody had any questions. Thank you for everybody for commenting and your thoughts and compliments. Thank you so much. So if you have a question, just type it in below. And the reason why I'm leaning over here is I'm looking at my little list of things to stay on track. So the last thing that I wanted to share with you is something that I learned this week that helped me. Hello. And if any of you are joining in late, you'll be able to watch this on replay on both my YouTube channel, Light and Joy Designs, and also on my Instagram page. So the last part of my crochet blog, I like to share something that I learned this week. And for me, this one is titled Stepping Out of the Game. So I do a lot of reading on spirituality, and I call it the magic of life. You know, some people call it God, some people call it the universe. You know, some people are agnostic or don't believe in an afterlife. But I think we all can probably feel at our own experiential level the magic that it is to be alive. You know, the magic of, you know, you get a cut on your hand and that heals. How does that happen? You know, to me, there's something really magical and special about that. So that's the thing that I think, you know, no matter what we all call it, that is the thing that I'm interested in beyond this physical world. And it, you know, and of course it weaves into the physical world, right? It's how our physical world is manifested. So normally, as I'm going through life, I have learned that I'm happiest when I have kind of one foot in the physical world, because, like, how can you not, right? I mean, here we are in these bodies and on this planet and in this world. But I find that I'm happiest when I can also keep one foot, or, you know, part of my attention in that magical world, in the world of wonder, of where we all come from, the source of life. You know, you may call it God or universe or whatever you call it, but you know, none of us is in this world forever. And so for me, I like to think about these things because from the things that I've read, I don't know, it frees you up when you face these kinds of things. It frees you up to really live, you know, if you're not afraid of what comes after this life. So anyway, so I usually try to keep one foot in the physical world and one foot in the magical spiritual world. And this past week, I got a little bit too deep into the game. You know, kind of, I think of this world as having a dreamlike quality. You know, you could think of it as like a movie. You could think of it as a video game, or, you know, there's lots of different ways you could conceptualize this life that we have here. You know, if you believe in an afterlife, or even if you believe that nothing comes after this life, there's still this life, and then, you know, afterwards, which you may think is nothing, or you may think is heaven, or whatever you think it is. But we all know that at some point our physical life ends. And this week I was just very, very deep into the physical life because of all of the things that happened here in the United States, in our capital. And I, you know, without kind of getting into the conflict of all of it, I personally just kind of fell into the lower emotions of that whole thing. You know, I went through fear and concern and outrage and shock and disbelief, sadness, worry, hopelessness, judgment, and all of those feelings. You know, I kind of really got really deep down into the drama. You know, I just was in my attention, in my consciousness, I was super focused in on that stuff. And what I found was that I just felt like crud. You know, I just felt terrible. I don't know how you guys felt last week, but I was not happy, and I wasn't feeling well. And I just was like, oh my gosh, Kristen, you know, you got to remember the things that you learn. So this weekend, I kind of did a reset, did a little meditation, and I remembered 4 things that helped me kind of get back to my steady state, my state of where I normally am, which is feeling pretty good, feeling pretty grounded, feeling and grounded, and yet also connected to the magic of life. So number 1 thing that I connected back with is that everything happens for a reason. I know some people don't like that saying, and I respect whatever you believe, but for me that works. I believe that everything does happen for a reason, and the reason why I believe that is because when I have gotten in touch with that, then I'm happier. So that leads me into number 2, which is, instead of judging others and judging that situation that happened and, getting really down into those lower emotions, I said to myself, what can I personally learn from this? What are the things that I'm seeing other people do that maybe I also do on a smaller scale or on a micro scale or in my thoughts or whatever? So, I'm not sure who said this, but you hear it a lot, like, peace starts with us, right? It starts with you, and then the people that are in front of you, and so on. So I knew that I needed to just kind of go back and think about, what it meant for me. So that was helpful. Number 3 was, this was a big one, was like, since I was I'm looking out into the world, right? And I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the TV, I'm looking at the news, and I'm seeing things that are low and angry and all those low emotions and low actions. And I said, well, what can I do to change that situation? Or what can I do to make the world a better place? So, the only thing that I can do, that any of us can do, is to put goodness in right where we're at. So, I spent some time with my son, and, I spent some time with my boyfriend, and just focused on, being there for them, just like listening to them, sort of being of service. Also, I made some crochet gifts for people, and I mailed them out to them. And, you might ask, oh, how much can a crochet gift influence the world, especially there in Washington? Well, everything is connected. Everything is one domino in front of the next. And you make somebody a crochet gift, or you listen to a story that they have, or you just make a phone call, or you check in on a neighbor, then that person has been made to feel good. And what do they do with that? Then that spreads out inside their world, or around their world. So I think we should never think that any action is too inconsequential to do in terms of making our world a better place. And if you're in a position to do additional things, then you do additional things. But these are the things that I was able to do so far. And then the 4th thing was, for me, was to remember the magic source of life, to, instead of focusing outward so much onto what's going on in the outward world and what other people are doing, to really kind of come right back more into my own world, into my own thoughts, into my own surroundings, and see that things are really okay right here, right now. I mean, yes, there is stuff going on in Washington. There's stuff going on in other parts of the world that's terrible. And I'm not saying that we should not be aware of them, or that we should not pay attention or be concerned. But the thing is when you adopt those low emotions and you really get deep into the drama, you get deep into the game, you're not in a position to help people as much. So, being aware of it, and you ask yourself, what can I do? Is there something, maybe you're in that world in Washington, maybe there's things that you can do, then do that. But if you're not, being like constantly watching the news, being upset by it, being sad, being low, being judging, thinking hateful thoughts and all that stuff, then you're not in a position to help people. That was what was happening to me. I was getting into arguments with my family and stuff because I was feeling low. So I knew I needed to come out of that. It's not like I'm saying put your head in the sand, but ask yourself, where can I make a difference in the world? Where can I put goodness in and do that? And each of us just has to do the best that we can, and focus on, in this moment, am I okay? And if I'm okay, maybe I can be of service to somebody else and help somebody. And remembering that no little bit of service is small. It may be a small gesture, but it may be big for somebody else. So that, I think, is a way to heal ourselves out of what was going on last week, and at any time, COVID, whatever troubles you're seeing in your world. So I hope that's helpful to you. If you guys have any thoughts about that, I would love to hear them. I'm so grateful that you joined here. I see here Linda is saying, I have the Lord in my life. I'm so grateful today to have the Lord in my life because I was hit by a logging truck head on. Long story short, 2 years later, I had to lose a foot on my first leg. So yeah, so people have, everybody has things that they're going through. And, my prayers go out to you, Linda, for continued healing. And, for our bodies to heal, we need to be in that happier place. Because when we're happy, then our bodies are freed up to do the recovery and the healing work. So thank you all for joining. Again, if you missed anything, you can go back to the beginning and watch the replay. Anything that I mentioned today that you're interested in on YouTube will be in the description below. On Instagram, I have a clickable link in my bio. And in there, I have links to everything. If you don't see it immediately by scrolling, right at the very top is a search bar. So you can search for specific patterns or Tunisian course, whatever. And that will bring you to other clickable links to go see that stuff. So thank you, Linda. And thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for your feedback. And we'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.